Great question. I think I was most excited to explore the sort of adversarial component of the relationship, which maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Thus far, it's obviously it's the genesis. It's still the beginning of this friendship that we all know so well. But I think what's great is that they don't know what their friendship is going to be yet. They really don't know what it is about one another that is alluring or intriguing. And I wanted to sort of portray a little bit of that hint of intrigue, but it's subconscious. You don't really understand why Kirk is drawn to this guy and why he finds him compelling. Yeah, I mean, I think season one finale is based on Balance of Terror, which is quite a, I watched that episode multiple times, and Kirk is fairly serious. Then as you watch TOS, there are moments where he's incredibly playful. And I think every episode speaks to a different characteristic and quality that Kirk has. And I think, season 2, episode 3 was very playful. But also the one through line is that he's very heroic and he has really good moral compass and he always trusts his instincts. So I think that is sort of the pillar, and that's something that is not movable, I guess, so to speak.
Oh gosh, from a performance perspective, it's so difficult to keep all that in mind because we are so far from the beginning of the original series. And I would really task the writers with that job. I think that we will see Spock at least go through many different types of exploration of himself, and they may appear more human at times or more Vulcan at times, or who knows how else. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think about it too much.
I certainly think about it. I think it would be a mistake to sort of automatically be that version of the Kirk that is part of the canon and that we know. I think he's still sort of trying to figure himself out. And he's, I think part of the fun of playing this character pre the Kirk that we all know is to slowly evolve and to slowly develop the mannerisms or characteristics or, the cadence. I think that we can sort of slowly get there. And I think if we get there from day one, it's a little bit less interesting to watch. So I wanted to keep it sort of a little bit unique and different. But of course I think about it.
I love so much the earnestness that Spock brings to his journey, I suppose. There's such a childlike vulnerability in the way that he explores himself in certain situations because he is so young as a human being, right? He's half and half, and his human side, I think, is nascent. And I think that makes for a lot of really great comedic opportunities as well, because he's always the odd man out, sort of the strange one in the room. And that's really fun to play.
In many ways, I think Kirk is still a boy, at least in the version that I sort of am playing. I think he hasn't quite, I'm not sure he understands how to be a captain yet, I guess is what I'm getting at. I think he's still a lieutenant, and I think he's not ready to be a captain yet. And I really think we will I would like to slowly begin to portray him as someone with a deep confidence and an unwavering sort of sense of who he is, but I don't think he's quite there yet. And I think that's sort of what makes it sort of special to watch.
It's been so relieving. We were mid-production on season 2 when the first episode of season 1 premiered. So we were well on our way into the second season. And to not know how you're doing was kind of insane. And I mean, I personally, when I saw the first 2 episodes of the premiere in New York, I was really taken aback by just how, what the high level of quality that I was suddenly a part of. I don't know what to expect, because we do our job, we carry the baton for, the time that we're there on set, and you just kind of never know how it's going to turn out. And so I'm just so thrilled and excited to be part of an amazing production and team of creatives. I met Jack a few years ago at a convention, and we had such a nice connection right off the bat. And so I remember thinking at that time, I'd love to work with this guy. He's also from LA. We just share a lot of similar context. And it was so much fun working with him. And Jonathan Frakes, who directed the episode, coined us Spoimler, which is a hybrid of our names, Spock and Boimler. And that just like made me so happy to have this joke with Jonathan Frakes, who I just revere. Yeah, I didn't do much improvising because I pretty much stay on my on rails as Spock. It's quite difficult to improvise when he's speaking about some matters of science. But Jack, I think it had a little more leeway with that, and he did improvise, which was really fun.
I wasn't a part of the episode, so I'm gonna plead the fifth. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Paul, as the actor approaching the role, was so careful and really took it very seriously, and was very measured in his approach, which I really love to see, because I think all of us in the show really accept the burden of these iconic characters and are excited about it. And he showed up to the party with much the same approach and strategy. And then in terms of his embodiment of Kirk, I think he just brings so much charm, magnetism. He's devilish, and I love being on the other side of the camera from him when we're doing these scenes.
Ethan, I'll Venmo you. What you want. Thanks, man. That's very kind of you. Look, I echo everything that Ethan just said. I think it's extremely difficult to play Spock. I can't even imagine. It's just he does such a wonderful job of paying homage to those mannerisms, the cadence, the voice. I think the stoicism with little hints of humanity and vulnerability that he's so desperately trying to find is so well portrayed in Ethan's version of Spock. And I'm quite in awe of it, actually. So.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.